Nine Army TV. This episode summary is about colour, episode 8, scheme types. This episode is similar to lightness and saturation, in that it's important to understand the in-depth technical terms and keep them in the back of our mind. So when we discuss colour schemes with our clients or family, we can use more general terms. We would create an analogous scheme with 60% lightness, 50% desaturation, and split complementary saturated hue accents. But with the client, we will describe it as a warm scheme with bright opposing accents, as our technical language is far too technical for a typical client. So obviously, the more general the description in layman's terms is, the easier it is for everybody to understand. What we learn in this episode are our different scheme types and what they are and where they're mostly used, how we best implement them, such as primary schemes often found in schools, kids' bedrooms and environments that are meant to be fresh. Secondary schemes, strong undiluted hues that compete against each other with high contrast. We might only use these in spaces that we spend a short term in, like receptions areas, kids' playrooms and restaurant washrooms. And then our intermediate schemes, which gives us even more colour to work with, and at this point we can also introduce shading, tinting and toning, have a great variety within them, and can be anything from vibrant and dynamic to soft, inviting, or sophisticated and sexy. Then our analogous schemes are a clever scheme that use tint, tone and shade to create colourways and harmonies that seem clever, yet impossible, yet work. I have just now worked up a primary scheme, because my base hues, my underlying colours are my red, my yellow and my blue. So there you go, that's another primary scheme. Worked around the colours quite a lot, but because they are all close together on the colour wheel, they all go together really complementary and beautifully.
Anlatamam derdimi dertsiz insanım. Derdim bana derman imiş.
Then we have our art world colour schemes, which are good for you to know. However, they are not used often in interiors, and when they are more so used in commercial, retail or hospitality situations. And even then, these schemes might only still turn up as artefacts and soft furnishings, which can be easily changed.
Hiçbir zafer kıymetini
So there is another punchy split complementary scheme. I personally really like this one. It's very fresh and fun, and I would use this happily at any beachside location. The last scheme used commonly by the design community is the monochrome scheme. And I should clarify by stating that this scheme is loosely used by the design community, because to be technically accurate with monochrome is actually very, very difficult, because a monochrome scheme is technically difficult with a single colour hue. interiors and design, there are certain schemes which are used the most professionally, from domestic to commercial to retail or hospitality situations. But we just don't talk about them to our clients with technical names. We talk about them under general everyday descriptions. So we would call an analogous lounge room a modern classical room, as this is easy to understand by our everyday person and client. Or a monochrome wedding function would be called a classical space as well. It is definitely such a clever advantage to understand all of the technical colour terms, such as monochrome, analogous or complementary, when we are compiling a colour scheme, although we may not use these technical terms when talking about the scheme to our client, and instead we use more common terms like neutral, classical or vibrant. But by understanding all the technical aspects of colour schemes, you will have such a strong foundation to base your professional career upon. Enjoy putting your colours together. More often than not, you will assemble a scheme instinctively and then post-rationalise that you have put together a monochrome, analogous or complementary scheme. However, at this point you should also edit it cleverly for a strong professional scheme, so enjoy. And thank you for joining us in looking at our scheme types episodes. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the full episode of Scheme Types. Thank you.